up, you guys? It's your girl Queida here, back with another video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe so you can become a real babe. And if you guys are existing, thanks so much for coming back to watch. I truly appreciate everybody who watches my videos. You guys, we are on episode 5. We are making headway here. We are almost to 1,100 subscribers. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, just make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe so we can get to 1,100 subscribers. Once we get to that milestone, we will have a special episode, so you won't want to miss it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below and turn on your notification bell so you know every time a video is posted, because we are on go, okay? I did my hair myself. I am on this hair journey. So I've been doing a routine every week. I mean, this is only my second week. And making sure I put it in protective style, so that's braiding it down, wearing a wig, or doing some kind of protective style after. I might not put it here, but if you guys follow me on TikTok, then you guys will be able to watch that growth for my hair. But this is what I did. This is my first time doing it, so it'll get better. But I did a half up, half down quick weave. And you guys, like, this hair, I've had it for like a while, and I just wand curled it, and voila. I also did my makeup. You guys want to, again, follow me on TikTok so you guys can see this makeup routine. I used pink powder this time, and it really brought out my blush, and I really like it. So summertime fine. Okay, today's episode is going to be, I went back and forth about what I wanted to talk about, because I feel like I could get really deep. Not that my topics have been dark, but I can get really deep and into it. So today we're going to talk about what it was like growing up as a suburban black girl who was also the only child. So I'm going to give you both of those dynamics, and if you are a suburban black girl, or you grew up the only child, or you grew up with siblings, put it in the comments and let me know what your experiences were below. I think what I've experienced about being a suburban black girl the most, I think a lot of times I was misunderstood, and I feel like I've said that in a couple of podcast episodes. I've always was called like whitewashed or Oreo, or like I'm trying to act like another race, and I'm not. And like I said in the last episode, only thing that I was doing was being myself. And that's just how I can say. I mean, not like that. I always hung around like black people. My friends in school were black, but I just was who I was. Like, I listened to what I listened to. I did have friends that were of other races, of course, but I mean, I don't know why I talk the way I talk. I mean, yes, I may still talk proper now, but I used to talk way like more proper for people that know me back in the day. But for the most part, I didn't really, maybe because where I grew up, I didn't really experience anything. But when I would go to like places where maybe it wasn't as suburban, people would be like, what's wrong with you? Why do you talk like that? Like, why are you trying to be something you're not? And I promise you, I never was trying to be anything that God didn't have me be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain that. I was just being myself. And sometimes I would have like crushes on like black guys, and they would be like, you know, you act a little bit, you know, too whitewashed, so, you know, we don't want to date you. And there was a time in my life where I only dated outside my race. Like, I didn't date in my race because I felt like I wanted to date where I was accepted. At that time, I dated who dated me. You know what I mean? So I think just that experience alone, you know, all the stigmas of like who would date you or the stereotype, I feel like it changes. But I feel like once I moved to Texas, like I was really able to grow into, well, I'm still growing, but grow into the woman, appreciate myself, appreciate my culture, appreciate where I come from, and, you know, just appreciate who I am as a person and understanding why I am the way that I am. Because, you know, my mom is from LA through and through, and she's such a fly, classy lady. I just love my mom. Just shout out to my mom. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I feel like I was just myself, and the experiences that I just was teased a lot for how I talked, or teased a lot, you know, for how I dressed or how I did my hair, or just all of those things. A lot of suburban black girls, they either fall into where they like, kind of like what I was doing, you go with where you feel accepted, but you don't understand that you are being who you are. And so you just have to have, if you accept yourself, other people will accept you too. And if they don't, then they're not the people for you. One thing I never had an experience about is, well, yeah, I have, about my hair, but it was like, when I was younger, my mom used to get my hair done all the time, but as I became an adult, sometimes my hair was not it. Like, it would be sticking out, it would be looking crazy. I have come a long way. Anybody that knows me, like in my earlier 20s, I was trying to find myself. But now I understand about having your hair together, being together, you know, all of that. So as you can see, again, if you are a suburban black girl, let me know your experiences and how you grew up and where you grew up. If you grew up in Long Beach or LA or anything like that, go ahead and let me know. The pros and cons of being an only child. I think the pros for sure is like you get everything that you ask for pretty much. Some people might like, I feel like at some point I was a little selfish, but I think one thing my mom always like, and my grandma too, like they always like, I had to work for things. Like a lot of things weren't given. I had to have good grades. I had to do what I was told. I had to be on the right track if I wanted to get those things. They didn't just give me things because I wanted them. I was taught, you know, everything in life comes with a price. Everything in life comes with consequences or reward. And everything in life, you have to work for it. If you want something, you have to work hard. I wish I would have listened, especially like in school. I feel like growing up, I didn't work as hard in school. I just did enough to get by, honestly. But I feel like if I had the mindset I have now, again, growth just happens, that I would have had a different mindset. But anyway, I was taught that you do have to work for everything that you want. Nobody's going to give you stuff. Nobody cares like what you're going through. Like, people do care to a certain extent, but they don't. A lot of only children sometimes have that entitlement that it's easy for it to come, right? Because you're the only child. Everything is about you. Experience. I didn't have to, you know, I mean, I would get hand-me-downs from like people, but I got new clothes every year, like for school, summer clothes, school clothes. You know, I had my mom's undivided attention. Like, I mean, being an only child, I think it's pretty cool. Cons, I feel like sometimes it robs you of having those experiences that you would have with a sibling. Like, for instance, I had a friend who had sisters, or she has sisters, and like, I don't know, to me, if we get into it, we're not friends anymore. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? Like, if we get into it bad enough, like, I'm not going to talk to you no more. I'm not fooling with you no more. I'm not your friend, right? But then I realized when you have sisters, you know, you can love somebody and have a disagreement outside of a relationship, right? You can love somebody and have a disagreement, and that's still your sister. That's still your brother at the end of the day. And I never had that, right? I never had to have conflict, and I feel like sometimes that kind of like I didn't know how to have tough conversations or know how to do conflict resolution, because I never had to growing up. It was just me, and I didn't have to like stand up for myself, because who's taking my stuff, who's trying to, you know how siblings do, like things happen, like give me this, why are you wearing my shirt, da, da, da. Having like a forever friend, I feel like somebody, and I have friends, I have very close friends that I can call, but I feel like it's nothing like for me, I call my mom all the time. I call my mom every day, damn near, and I feel like that's what I would want in a sister. Somebody I can just call, no judgment, girl, guess what, da 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 da, do do do, and like be able to talk on the phone all day. And I feel like at one time I had that, but you know, when they're not your real sibling or whatever, you know, it just is different. I will say, like, my mom let me do a lot. Like, my mom was strict, but then she wasn't at the same time. Like, you know, I don't know, like, being an only child, like, she did let me do a lot of things. Sorry, guys, I'm missing nails. But she, you know, I went at 7, I think I was 17, or was I 16? I don't know. I think I was 17. She let me go to another state and visit my boyfriend at the time. And, yeah, I was talking to somebody with siblings, and she was like, my mom would never. But I think my mom just trusted me. I was a good kid, like, you know. And I mean, like I said, some things my mom was strict about, some things she wasn't. And it just depends on what it was and, like, you know, all of that. But yeah, I think those are my experiences. So if you're the only child, please put your experiences at the bottom. Like, also, I am the only grandchild, great-grandchild, only kid in my family. So growing up, all of my family on my mom's side were adults. I don't have cousins. Like, I have extended cousins, but my mom is also the only child. So she doesn't have siblings. My grandma has a brother, but he never had children. So my grandma had my mom. My mom only had me. And I am 32 with no kids. So, yeah, I just feel that I went, and this is just a side story, and then we'll move on to the tea with Quee because my camera's gonna die in a little bit. But I went to the Levi store one time, and I was with my sister-in-law, and we were talking or whatever. She's like, "Are you guys sisters?" And we're like, "No, that's my sister-in-law. Like, I date her brother." And she was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "Well," I said, "I'm the only child." And she was like, "Me too." She was like an older woman. She said, "I think as you get older, it's a little lonely because everybody's passed and you're left." And that really made me sad, but I'm glad she said it because I never thought about that in that perspective. But like, yeah, my grandparents are getting up there. My great grandma's 92 years old. Like, my mom is, she's not older, but she's, in her 50s. And like, then there's me. And I feel like with being an only child, I find myself clinging to groups or clinging to other people's families because I want that. I crave to be a part of a family. And again, not that I have an amazing family. I had an amazing upbringing. Like, I really did. I had a really great upbringing, really great mom, really great grandma, really great papa. Like, I truly, truly did. But I just want to be a part of a family. And I really appreciate, if you guys are watching, I really appreciate my boyfriend's family because they make me feel very included. And I don't know why I'm about to cry right now, but yeah, I like to do like family traditions. Like, I like to do family, just family stuff because like I just never had that. And, I always wanted to be a part of it. As an only child, as somebody that doesn't have a lot of family, you crave that sometimes. Maybe some people don't, but I do. And I want to be a part of that. If you're an only child, put in the comments like how you grew up, how you deal with it. My mom says she enjoys it. She never thinks about it that way, but I do. But my mom has me, right? So I think it's like she doesn't feel that emptiness because she has a child. And, again, me and her talk every day. My mom's like my best friend. But yeah, let me know in the comments, or if you grew up with siblings, do you wish you were the only child, or how do you wish for that? So, all right, tea with Quee, you guys, let's get into it. All right, you guys, so Usher and Chris Brown is having a R&B concert. They're coming to Dallas, I think September 10th. I may go, I may look at the tickets, but if they're too high, baby, I will be watching on TikTok, okay? I'm on a mission, I'm locked in, and I wish I would have went to the Cardi B concert, truly, but anyway. And I've seen Chris Brown in concert like a lot of times. I didn't see him in concert last year because I saw him the year before and the year before that. But I definitely, Usher, Raymond, and Chris Brown, I feel like I have to go kind of because that's going to be a really good concert. I really like Usher, but I really love Chris Brown. Like, music-wise, you know what I mean? I really like their music. Like, every time I think of Usher, I'm like, just don't waste my time. Like, I love Usher. He's just, yeah. His voice is just so, like, soothing, and it's, like, really good. And then, Chris Brown is just a star. Like, duh. So, are you going to the concert? I'm sure it's going to be really live. I'm sure it's going to be really good. I wonder if Usher's going to do that whole, like, feet in the strawberry thing. Maybe not, because it's going to be a bigger concert with Chris Brown. But definitely let me know if you're going. And should I go? Should I go to the concert? I want to. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. Also, this is not in my tea with Quee, but Ice Spice got into a fight at a McDonald's. I do want to ask Ice Spice, why are you at McDonald's without security? Why are you at McDonald's by yourself? One could say, well, she just wanted to get something to eat real quick. But you're a celebrity. You're Ice Spice. It would be different if you were a has-been. I mean, people can still attack you, but you are pretty big. I mean, you're Ice Spice. Like, people, you have fans, people. So I don't know why you're out by yourself at McDonald's. Maybe she thought nobody would recognize her. I don't know, but I think that's a little foolish for Ice Spice to do that. But basically, I guess it was like a fan or somebody came up to them, tried to sit with them, and Ice Spice was like, do I know you? Like, kind of thing. The girl said she was being rude, so she hit Ice Spice. Ice Spice jumped up on the table. I'll put some clips here if it's there. And I think they also fought outside. Some people say that she got beat up, but from what I saw, Ice Spice pretty much held her own. I mean, she is from New York. I heard the New York girl's gonna be playing, and she was in LA in a McDonald's when that happened. And I'm from California. I'm sorry, we just be starting stuff sometimes. And, California people are a little passive aggressive. And I say that with love because I'm from California, and I feel like I can say that. But, what do you guys think? Do you feel like Ice Spice, was like, that was just unprovoked and uncalled for? Like, I think so. You don't just, even though it's a celebrity, you might be a fan. You don't just go up to people's table and like sit with them and like try to like, and then say, "Where are you from?" Like, you obviously know that this is Ice Spice, and you obviously know she's from New York. Like, what do you mean, where's she from? Like, you don't know who she is. I don't know. The whole interaction was kind of weird, and I think Ice Spice should sue her, and I think the girl should go to jail or pay a fine or something, because you can't just do that. You can't just put your hands on people for no reason. Like, or any, I mean, you shouldn't put your hands on people, period. But I think the whole interaction was a little weird to me. On Tea with Quee is King and Neek. If you guys keep up with King and Neek were a YouTube couple back in the day. They have broken up. They have a son named Kaiser. King has moved on and is married or engaged to Lena. They have two children, and I'm not sure if Neek is still with Dwayne. I hope she is, because that man is very fine and very handsome. But I know they're like on and off again. However, it's a big thing on the internet. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Basically, King, also to add, King moved to Thailand with his fiance and their two kids, and obviously left Kaiser home because he has a different mom, and obviously Neek is not about to let him go to Thailand. Like, I wouldn't let my kid go to Thailand either, sorry. And I'm not going to speak about why he moved to Thailand, because I truly don't care. I think for me, the big thing sometimes that I've noticed about people with children or parents, and again, I don't have children, but I can speak from what I've experienced, and I can speak from what I've observed. You know, allegedly, King does not help out financially. King, you know, is not very involved in Kaiser's life, even when he lived in the States, and even that when he moved to Thailand. When Kaiser went to go visit King in Thailand, it was like a whole thing. Like, Neek had to come to Thailand to go get him, and King didn't want to pay for the flight, but he wanted to pay for the flight he wanted to. He didn't want to pay for the flight that Neek wanted him to pay for, so she had to pay all this extra money. To me, if you take my son to where you live, you bring him back. Like, that would be the agreement, period. You have to bring him back. Like, I'm not flying to Thailand. What am I going to Thailand for? Like, you're the one that lives there, so you should bring him back, period, you know? So now it's a thing, because I guess Neek texted King and basically, long story short, said, you know, your son basically mentioned you left him for dead, and he feels like he doesn't have a father figure. Do you think you could come out here for a week and spend time with him and, you know, have one-on-one time with him, you know? And King has been going on a damn rampage. Like, you know, he wants Kaiser to come live with him in Thailand, and like, he didn't abandon his son, and he's not doing it because Neek wants it. And I think what bothers me is, like, Neek texted you this and asked you to come, and then you're basically putting the child in the middle. Like, buddy, did you say that I left you for dead? You said that I abandoned you? And obviously your son is going to say no, right? And obviously King is going to say Neek is coaching him, but kids really feel that way. Kids feel like, as Kaiser gets older, he's going to know that you weren't around. And you obviously are going to try to blame Neek and say, no, but you were in Thailand. You don't help allegedly financially with him. Neek does everything for him. You know, you call and you check in, but like, that's all you do. And personally, like, watching King, and King is like one of those, he's only involved because he's around. Right? Like, so if he was still with Neek, he would be a great dad to Kaiser. But King is with Lena with their two kids, and he's a great dad to them. Right? He's around because he's with the mom. But I guarantee if him and Lena break up, he's gonna be the same way. So sometimes I be looking at Lena sideways, because, you know, girl, you don't even, like, I don't know. I've seen it too many times. And, you know, it's unfortunate, and I think that King, I feel like he should stop talking about it on the internet, because he looks crazy. But then I think what bothers me too is that King always mentions like what Neek is doing. Oh, Neek is in Paris, not with her son, and Neek is here, and Neek is there. Like, where Neek is at is none of your business. If she's with her son or not, it's none of your, like, she's a full-time parent. And they need a break too. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you shouldn't be clocking where she's at. Like, even when he called her, he's like, has Kaiser even been with you? Has Kaiser been with you? one could say, where he lives in Thailand. But it's just like, stop clocking where Neek is going. And also, you know, people are saying that, you know, he is jealous of Neek because the life that he thought he was going to be leaving after he left Neek, he doesn't have that. You know, he doesn't have that lifestyle that he thought he was going to have with Lena. A lot of people say, like, you know, he got with a light-skinned chick and he thought that he was going to be, you know, in his career. I mean, it seems like they're pretty steady on social media, but they're not like Neek. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that, like, people don't really like them, like Lena. They probably have their fan base. I mean, I watch the clips or if they pop up, and I think Lena is okay, but I think Lena has, like, I don't know. I don't know these people. This is just my opinion and me observing and watching them. But I do think, you know, Lena, she talked about her upbringing, and I think she just lacks certain things because she didn't have it. I think that's okay. I don't think Lena is like a bad person. I just think that she just follows and does everything King, like, she just believes in everything King says. And I'm sorry, King is a bit foolish. He doesn't make a lot of sense. And yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts about Neek and King? Do you think King is like, needs to just take responsibility and for his son and be more involved? Or do you feel like he should move back from Thailand? Or do you think Kyler should go to Thailand with him as he requested for like a year? I don't think that's going to happen ever, but what do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. Last but not least, of course, I have to add a true crime segment in here. Serena and Justin Fairfax. Serena was murdered by her husband, Justin Fairfax, after she filed for divorce. They were married for a while. I didn't write that down. They were married for a while. They have 2 teenage kids together. She was a dentist. He was a former congressman or governor. I don't know for what state, but he basically, she filed for divorce, and it was said that he was supposed to move out the house by the end of April, and he went to the basement, I guess, and he, pew-pewed her and then pew-pewed himself, and the teenage son found the mom and called the police. I think we just talked about a story last week about a husband murdering his wife, and honestly, this is happening way too often. I think a lot of people put on a persona that their life is perfect with their spouse, but it's not. And I think that being more honest about it and not having the shame that maybe your marriage isn't the best, and maybe like really getting some help, but it's kind of, it's harder to say that when you're in it, right? When you're in it, you're trying to make it work. You do have the shame. You don't want people to be like, you're a failure, look at your marriage. You know, you don't want people in your business. You don't want people judging you. So I get that, but I do think at a certain point, you know, I do think, and I've never been married, I've never been divorced, but I do think that if you are going to get a divorce, I don't think you should live in the house with the person. I think immediately when you file for it, you guys need to be in separate houses right away. And I mean, not saying that could have prevented this from happening, but I think a lot of times, especially if you're in a volatile relationship, you know, people, they have too much access to you in the same house. And you would think somebody that you love, somebody you had kids with, wouldn't do that to you, but obviously he did. And I don't understand why he didn't just do it to himself. Why did he have to, you know, do that to her? Now, the kids both don't have a parent, and think about the trauma that, like, he found his mom. Like, think about the trauma they have to deal with throughout their life now because of the decisions that their father made. And there's a picture, I'm gonna put it here, and I could just see in her eyes, like, she wasn't happy with him. She wasn't happy in that picture. It was all pretend. And he was no longer I think he was a Congress from 2019 to 2023 or 2022. And that is because it was some allegations that something happened with some women back in college. So he had to resign. And yeah, just, you know, prayers out to the children, prayers out to the family. It's a super sad case. Definitely look it up. I saw it on TikTok. Serena Fairfax and Justin Fairfax. He is the husband. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. I thought that was really sad, but it's happening more often than not. So if you guys are going through something like that, definitely speak up and, you know, try to get some help if you can. All right, you guys. So that is it for the tea with Quee and the 5th episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I try to make it quick. Sorry if I'm rushing. Like I said, my camera is literally about to die. I'm literally watching it go down. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,100 subscribers. And if you guys are existing, thanks so much for coming back to watch. I truly appreciate everybody who watches my videos. And I will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.